Greetings and salutations, one and all, to another fun-filled episode of the Super Review Show's Mixed Bag, coming to you live once again from many caves. As always, I am joined by the incredible Starfield panel of panelists. What's going on, Bill, Justin, and Allie? How are you guys tonight?
Hello, folks.
What is going on, people?
I'm not in my usual place. I'm in
Well,
a
Allie,
hotel.
we missed you
Falling
last week. You know what we have to say to that? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
See you later. We could do another gentleman's club episode here.
Well, I think I just figured out another choice for tonight.
No, God. No, but anyways, guys, Bill, what is our topic for tonight again?
Okay, if you remember last month for Mother's Day, we talked about the worst the worst moms in media. And the worst moms in media, we covered moms from TV, movies, and even some real life ones.
The Duggards. We'll go on.
So
That's all for this month's too.
yeah, oh, trust me. Just wait. I got some things to say about him. But anyway.
But our topic is
But today we're talking, since in May we gave the worst TV moms their due, or the worst media moms their due. Since Father's Day is this Sunday, we're gonna give the dads a shot now. So our topic today is worst dads in media.
Oh yeah. The worst dads in all of media, from cartoons to TLC to Kourtney Kardashian's dad, you name it. Let's go for it, people. We're going all out tonight. Who wants to kick it off tonight?
Does dog parents count or they don't count?
Are we talking about the cartoon?
I'll allow it. I don't know about these other fine folk.
We'll allow it. What do you got?
Okay, so I'm going to start with this. So I'm going with Courage the Cowardly Dog in this. I am going Eustace Bag. Although this is Muriel's dog, he emotionally abuses Courage. If you've seen even just the beginning, even if you see the opening credits.
Stupid dog, you made me look bad.
Come on, look at it. It's like he doesn't. It's like he hates this dog, and would just put it in every single bit of harm's way for no reason. Also, he's very stubborn as well. Like, how do I give an example? One of the episodes, I guess, when they were supposed to get Muriel some baked goods, he took Courage with him to go get burgers, big and juicy.
What do you have against big and juicy burgers?
I don't know.
She said.
But it's like he pretty much, I don't know. But also, I think one of the worst episodes that Eustace has done to pretty much abuse Courage indirectly is the episode Balls of Fury, where he gets every villain of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, that's very direct.
Very direct? Okay. And pretty much kidnaps Muriel. And the only way to get her to scream, one of my favorite scenes in that, the laundry. Come on. Come on, cats. But pretty much making them play making all the villains of Courage play dodgeball against Courage. And the only way that Courage was to win was screaming his lungs out.
He's just not only is Eustace just a bad dog dad, he's just a bad husband and just a bad person.
The only thing he cares about is being rich.
And his chair.
Yes, and the chair.
Think he has a weird sexual attraction to the chair.
Oh, and food. Don't forget food. Good food.
Well, hey, who doesn't like food?
Facts.
Ugh. I think that's it for me for Courage, unless you guys have any other comments.
I don't normally do this when we record our podcast, but chat for it if you have anything to add to us, because for those who don't know, we do the show live on YouTube Wednesday nights in the EST time. Dr. Matt Hemsley, if you have anything you want to add to us, please let us know.
Oh, I'm sure Dr. Matt Hemsley has a few things to say.
I'm sure he does. He's our dear friend. He's a very good friend of ours. We love you. So that was Allie. Who wants to go next?
Okay.
Bill, you go ahead.
I designate Bill.
Okay, you designate me. Okay, so we're gonna start with my favorite target. TLC.
TLC.
Okay. So you know what?
Not the 90s
Have against
TLC.
chasing waterfalls, Bill.
What was that, Justin?
What do you have against chasing waterfalls?
No, but Bill doesn't wear no scrubs. A scrub is a guy that, you know what I mean.
Okay.
No.
So, okay. Well, I just want to say a paging Jim Bob Duggar. I've been waiting years for this. I've been waiting years for this, Jim Bob.
Don't forget the eldest son, too.
Everyone hush, the prophet is speaking.
Okay, for those of you who don't know the joke, a couple years ago, what was it, JT? We did a TV show that should be canceled.
That was like our 8th episode out of like almost 200 now. But yeah, go on.
And I said Counting On, which was the Duggars rebrand from 19 Kids and Counting, should be canceled. And what happened the next day? Justin, you sent me a text. That very next night, I am not making this up. He goes, "Are you a prophet or something?" And then it said that Josh Duggar, Jim Bob's son,
who he thinks is like the Messiah,
we'll get more into that, don't worry. Was actually arrested for possession of images with young children in them.
Yeah, I probably should have said it that way.
And I'm just going to say this. The images were so bad. The guy who made those videos was an Australian guy and who got like arrested in the Philippines. They were so severe. The Philippines was actually considering bringing back the death penalty just for him, for that guy who made those videos.
Damn.
Wow.
So there's an
interesting. In Singapore, they would have actually done it.
Yeah. But anyway, so Jim Bob Duggar, who is, and then actually a couple weeks later, the show got canceled. I sent it to Justin. And then, Justin, what did you say? The prophecy
has been fulfilled.
The prophecy has been fulfilled. So, yeah, so I can basically predict the future now.
For those of you who wants to donate to the Cult of Bill, please call 1-800-GOT-BILL.
Our meetings are every Thursday night. And don't worry, we got free snacks.
In Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, don't worry, we got free snacks.
And don't forget to buy our t-shirt in our merch store called Bill is a Psych.
But anyway, I don't know if we should be making cult jokes because they are a part of an actual cult, but we'll get into that. Okay, so anyway, Jim Bob Duggar is the patriarch, and I don't like using that word, of the Duggar family, which has 19 kids. Come on, Justin. 1, 2, 3. And sperm is safe.
Don't forget the 30 plus grandchildren.
Yeah, let's just say, as it says in the Bible, be fruitful and multiply. They've
took that to heart.
Yeah. So, and listen, before I go on, I just want to say I have nothing against people who want to have large families, as long as you have the resources to take care of them. As long as you have the money and the resources to take care of them. You want to go have 12 kids? God bless. Just as long as you have the money and the resources to take care of them. But Jim Bob Duggar, he was actually when he met his wife Michelle, and they got married. I think he was 19, she was only 17, by the way. And then they had their son Josh, who we'll get more into him later. He's a ooh. But anyway, later on, after their first son Josh, they decided to do birth control. And then she still got pregnant, and unfortunately that kid miscarried. And then they decided, okay, because they became a part of an organization called the Institute of Basic Life Principles, which is, you know what? I'm going to call it what it is. And what is that? Say it with me, folks. 1, 2, 3.
A cult.
A cult. It's a cult. And it was started by a freaking psycho named Bill Gothard. You know what? I don't want to sound like an immature 12-year-old here, but put a space between the T and got and the A, and you know what? I'm going to leave that up to people's imagination. Did you guys get it?
Anyways.
Anyway. So anyway, they joined this cult, and one of the rules of this cult is don't use any form of birth control and have as many kids as God gives you. Yeah, so they get... What was that, Justin?
Can I make a sick joke?
Go right ahead.
How much you want to bet that they do it don't breathe style? Like Jim Bob has a turkey baster full of and then he, you know.
You've been watching that more oral episode, haven't you?
PG-13, guys.
Anyway.
I don't want to know.
Okay, but anyway, so he's had 19 kids.
We're all adults here. It's okay.
What has made him the worst father? Well, let's go to his oldest son, his pride and joy, Josh Duggar, who is also a dad himself. He has 7 kids. I am not kidding. He has 7 kids.
All starting with M's.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Duggars did all J, and they did all M's. But anyway, Josh...
when they get to X.
Josh, when he was a teenager, did some inappropriate things to his own damn sisters, by the way. And Jim Bob, being the wonderful dad he is, and guess how much sarcasm I mean that with?
Didn't care about his daughters.
Didn't care. He cared more about... They covered it up. And then in 2015, crap hit the fan. And everything came out. And then on Fox News, Jim Bob and Michelle just sat there and defended him and saying, well, here's what really happened. Oh, he made a mistake. No, this is not a mistake, Jim Bob. Oh, I'm just getting started. That's a mistake, Jim Bob.
Didn't he also blackmail his daughters, too?
He basically told his 2 daughters, exactly, Allie, to go on and defend their brother. And Jill, I've actually read some of Jill Duggar's book, Counting the Cost. And the sickest thing, he wanted them to go on the show. Said, well, of course, we got to protect our show. Screw you. And he's like, and you could tell, if you watch that interview, you could see Jill is like breaking down, and Jessa has that look like, come on, stick to the script. We got to save the show. And the sickest thing, and I read this in the book, the sickest thing ever, Josh is on the couch watching all this with a big ass smile on his face. and and he and he just and the way Jim. Okay, so after that, the original show, 19 Kids and Counting, got canceled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then a few months later, TLC decided to do like a special about Jill and Jessa, who were the two of the girls that were inappropriately touched.
Four of them were his sisters.
Yes. And they had a show called, and they had the show called Jill and Jessa Counting On. And they first said, oh, okay, we don't want Jim, Bob, Michelle. We just wanted to focus on them. But then they started coming on because you know what happened is the contracts that were negotiated, were still in Jim Bob's name. So he got most of their money.
Oh, God.
Because he was the only one getting paid. Nobody else was. Because he said, this is a ministry. We need to preach the word. And we need to preach the word. So I'm getting the money so we can preach the word more. And he's spending it on like private planes so anyway, after that, so because in the book, Jill said that her and her husband actually sued Jim Bob. Well, they didn't really sue him. They made a wage claim about all the money he was taking from them. And so yeah, and it wasn't even that much the final judgment, but still and then the big thing with Josh was arrested, as we said, 3 years ago for possession of CP and was found guilty. And he's just, and this, you know what, I'm just gonna call him this scumbag is still bankrolling his attorneys. But and I also heard from the channel Without a Crystal Ball, go check her out. She said that he has admitted privately that Josh is guilty, but he's trying to appeal so he can save their image. No, your image is done, pal. Everyone thinks your family is a bunch of, and the way he treated the daughter, and I think his daughter Jill said it best. They were in not a therapy session, because the Institute of Basic Life Principles doesn't believe in mental health, by the way. And how much you want to bet like 90% of these people who are in this cult have mental health issues?
Oh, yeah.
No, because I've read testimonies from survivors of this cult, and they've said a lot of people join this cult because a lot of them are narcissists. Because they want to feel big and powerful. And in Bill Gothard's Sick, Twisted Mind, the father he has this umbrella. The father is is below Christ. The father is in charge of the mother and the children. It's called the umbrella of authority. And if you step away from that umbrella, boom, something bad will happen. But anyway, so they were in a mediation and she just broke down crying. And he said, oh, you hear that? That's your conscience because you're disobeying me. And then she said, you treat me worse than you treat my pedophile brother. I was reading that. I'm like, what? Holy crap. And yeah, and also Jim Bob sent his friends to text Jill's husband saying, like, how dare you treat Jim Bob like that? He gave you his pure virgin daughter. How dare you do that to him? He's been sent by God to lead us. I'm like, Like, this man is literally calling him delusional is being too polite. What do you guys say? Calling this man delusional is being too polite.
You said it before. He's narcissistic.
And because he believes, because Bill Gothard teaches that the man is never in the wrong. He's been divinely ordained to lead the family. And may I say again, the last person you should be listening to is Bill Gothard, because Bill Gothard is given marriage and family advice, and yet Bill Gothard has never been married, and Bill Gothard doesn't have children. So what the fuck does he know? Like, what the hell does he know about being married or having kids? But yeah, and I have, and yeah, and more teachings of this cult. No, to the children, especially the women, cannot leave the house until they're married. They cannot move out till they're married, because they believe if they leave, they will be corrupted. And you know, I've said this about TLC before, whether it be the Goslings or the Duggars. My problem with TLC is they give platforms to people who don't deserve them, and to people who preach stuff that is harmful. And not only is this guy is not only in a cult, he's leading a cult. I've actually heard stories that people have moved to Arkansas. No offense to the great state of Arkansas. We're sure you're lovely folks.
Been there.
Well, but anyway, they moved their families to Arkansas just so they can be near Jim Bob and hopefully get married off to one of his kids. So their kids could get married off to one of his kids.
Jesus.
How sick is that? Why are they following this man? The man's a creep. The man covered up his pedophile son at the expense of his daughters. Oh, and on top of that, after his son got convicted in 2021, he ran for state senate. Like, read the room, pal.
I thought
Read.
that
I'm sorry.
that
Go
was
on.
him. I thought that was one of his sons.
Well, no, he ran for Arkansas House of Representatives, and he nuked that campaign because he was running against a woman and called her a liberal radical princess, and she destroyed him. And yeah, she has a doctorate in education, that woman who Jed, one of Jim Bob's sons, ran against. And he's and the kids are all homeschooled, by the way. And a lot of people have said the IBLP homeschool curriculum is like, most of these kids have like maybe at best a 7th or 8th grade education. At best. No, wait, no, I actually heard as bad as like a 5th grade education.
Yes.
Because they don't believe in higher education. But the problem is, and TLC, they are this is why I've grown to hate TLC, because they are given platforms to people who don't deserve them. They're given platforms to people who teach harmful things. And TLC, whether they want to admit it or not, they were unknowingly doing propaganda for this cult. They were unbeknowingly doing propaganda for the Institute of Basic Life Principles. So I don't, but yeah, the way he's defended his son, the way he treats his daughters, and the way he brainwashes people, I think it's safe to say Jim Bob Duggar is a terrible father. Folks, agree, disagree? I'm insane.
You're not insane.
Thank you.
Or nuts.
But agree or disagree with these statements I've made?
Agreed.
Agree.
So you know what? I said this 3 years ago, and I'm going to say it again. Fuck you, Josh Duggar. You freaking pedophile asshole. Fuck you, Jim Bob. And most importantly, fuck you, TLC.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm going back to Josh. You don't think he did anything to his own daughters?
I hope not. Because you, and yeah, Josh is going to be in prison for about 10 years. So hopefully not. But you know what? Like, here's the thing I've read in Arkansas if, because right after he's out of prison, he's going to be on probation, can't be around any minor children. I think that's including his own. So, yeah. And Jim Bob, if you're going to sue me, go ahead. Because that's what you're good at. You try to sue people who say bad things about you, but you know it's true. I know it's true. So go ahead, Jim Bob. If you're going to sue me, come at me. I just opened Pandora's box, didn't I?
PSA from Bill. PSA from Bill.
Justin, did I just open Pandora's box?
Well, hopefully you haven't started a feud.
Yeah. Well, what has he got on me? Nothing. Okay, maybe those crazy nights in college, but come on, who hasn't had a crazy night?
Okay. Do you yield?
I yield.
Okay. So my first pick after Bill's 20 minutes on the soapbox.
That was 20 minutes? Damn, I'm sorry.
You're good. My first pick is from a show called The Righteous Gemstones.
And bad.
Name is Baby Billy Freeman. Played by Walton Goggins. The most iconic smile in showbiz right now. Seriously, look at those teeth. Anyways, this man in 1993 abandoned his wife and son in a shopping mall and never looked back. Then in 2019, or 2021 maybe. Actually, it might have been 2022. Either way, in season 2, he abandons his second wife who is pregnant with his second son. This man is a liar, an opportunist, a cheat, and makes a perfect televangelist. I'll say that.
All in the name of Jesus.
Hail Jesus. Pray for Jesus. Praise Jesus. I'm not good at this. Anyways.
Leave it to me or I'll start chatting in Latin.
Anyways, he claimed to his sister that he did because he's not competent in his role as a father or a caregiver, but honestly, I don't buy it. This man is a snake oil salesman in the church gown.
Most televangelists are, to be fair.
He gaslit his sister to try and go on tour with him. He mooches off of the royalties that he and his sister were making when they were younger because they made music together. Always trying to have a get rich quick scheme. And I'm sorry, the dude abandoned his family in a shopping mall. like out of nowhere. Like,
It's such a random place to do it.
and then he tried to do it again with his pregnant wife in season 2. And what's his idea to say I'm sorry to his estranged son? He offers to let him punch him in the face. Like that's gonna solve anything. Might be cathartic. I'll say that. Might be cathartic. Especially if you knock out a tooth. But that's not gonna make up for 25 plus years of abandonment issues. Also, he delivered his second child in a porta potty.
Mm.
Just want to throw that one out there.
Just such a fit in place because he's such a piece of shit.
Has anyone seen this show?
I've seen
No.
parts of it.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, and I remember you said you really liked it.
Yeah. Some pretty graphic violence and nudity in there, surprisingly for an American comedy.
Did someone say nudity? I'm just kidding.
Male nudity.
Oh God, never mind. I'm sorry, everyone. I take back what I said. Whoops.
You get to see Baby Billy's nutsack.
This is why we're a PG-13 podcast.
This is mixed bag at night.
Mixed bag of nuts.
At night.
You mean these nuts?
Oh God. What have they
He
done?
should have won. He was cool.
Praise Jesus.
Praise him.
Anything else, Justin, for the righteous? I was going to say the righteous brothers, the righteous gemstones, baby Billy Freeman. Not the righteous brothers, everyone. Sorry, wrong thing completely.
I mean, it is Unholy Melody, Unchained Melody.
If you see this guy in your church, run.
Run the other way fast.
And I yield.
All right, is it my turn?
Yep.
Oh boy, I feel like a lot of people are going to bring this one up tonight, but someone has to bring it up. Someone has to talk about one of the most klutziest, dumbest dads ever portrayed in cartoon history. The Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
Dad. He's just dad.
That was for me.
He's Mr. Turner.
But they never explain his full name. I'm sorry.
In the flashback episode, everyone just calls him Dad.
I know, Dad.
My name is
Everyone just calls me Dad.
which is creepy.
Tinkleberg. I'm sorry.
But you know
everyone.
what? We were having this chat beforehand.
That's what we were, but go on.
Is he really a bad parent?
He's neglectful as hell.
He doesn't care about his own son. How bad is that?
But at least, in this show, they play his neglectedness up for laughs.
Oh yeah, it's a kid's show.
I mean, he does care a little bit about Timmy.
Hey Arnold.
What was that just about Hey Arnold?
I said, what do you think this is? Hey Arnold?
Well, isn't Hey Arnold a kid's show?
Moving on.
You've been billed. Congratulations. But JT, continue your explanation.
Mr. Turner if you're out there listening to us, Dinkelberg. I'm sorry. I had to. There's so many. For whatever reason, the Dinkelberg meme just makes me laugh so hard. So stupid. I'm sorry. We're gonna have a great show tonight. Don't worry. No, the Dinkelberg. Timmy's dad is just he neglects his own son. He's just like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Oh my god. No, but this guy is like, he's just he doesn't talk to his own child. He kind of treat and it's not just he's kind of played like as a dumb dad, like a really dumb dad. And he's just so angry at the next door neighbor. I love it. I love
Timmy, I tried to open the door with my mind.
There are a few episodes where he is a good dad in a way. Like, I guess the episode where he tries these new jobs to just appease Timmy.
Okay, that's an episode they just want.
Yeah,
Must
this is
get
dumb.
new job to make son proud. Kids, stop laughing.
And also
But-
the girl scream for him.
Oh my god, the girl scream is hilarious.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do the girl scream.
I can't either. My
Does it
voice-
sound like a dolphin? Because I could do it.
It's like tonight we're gonna read the baby dolphin that went. We canceled our reading of the baby dolphin going to come here immediately.
Someone had to do it. It's so funny. Just want to point out to everyone, thank you, chatboard, for being so active tonight. You guys are incredible out there. But no, I had to bring this up because he doesn't seem to care about Timmy Turner whatsoever. He just doesn't.
Moments.
I mean, he has in like Channel Chasers, he showed it a lot, but like there's one episode, so I don't know. And right now, my hair kind of looks like his hair right now, which is really bad. So that's terrible.
Oh Lord.
Dinkelberg. So stupid. I'm sorry. I yield. All right. So, anyways, that's the end of round one. Who went first? Bill, right?
It's
Allie.
me.
Alex.
Allie.
I'm losing track already.
Let's get out of Dimsdale and go to South Park. Because there's a couple of dads.
Lord.
I have two dads in mind, and I want to tackle. Yep.
That's one.
Randy.
And the other, Steven Stotch, Butter's father.
Ooh, fun fact. When he was first introduced, his name was Christopher.
Wow. So which one do I go first? I think we should go with Randy here. Because AK, he is my favorite character, but sometimes he could be stupid in a way.
No one down south. Go. Hey, I thought this was America, man.
Yeah, he pretty much embarrasses his own son in a way in that episode. And then also with him just trying to get, he only cares about himself in some ways. Rather than caring for his family, he literally decided to move his family out of South Park to open up Integrity Weed Farm. He hates the kids vaping, so that's what he does. And he still does it to this day.
Yeah,
And then-
the
Go on,
fact that that's still the plot. That's kind of bizarre.
A pandemic special.
At least Towley's back. All
Yeah,
right.
everyone was looking for Towley.
So that means you guys don't want Tally around?
Yes. All right. Continuing on to Randy. It's like, I don't know, like in the beginning of the series, he did care for Stan and Shelly, but then later on, he became stupid.
Flanderization. Gotta love it.
Justin, would you please
Flanderization?
explain Flanderization?
Okay, so Flanderization is what happens when a once complex character becomes very one note as the series goes on. Kind of, and it was named after Ned Flanders, who was a much more complex character in the early seasons of The Simpsons. But as time went on, he became very one note about his over righteous, Bible thumping, good neighborly Heidi Doody.
Howdy ho, neighbor.
And that was a random fact with Justin.
Random facts with Justin.
Justin.
Doesn't have the same ring as random facts with Bill. Sorry, bud.
Nah, it does not rate in the same way.
But back to South Park and other dads. I think it's time to go into Steven Stotch, who pretty much has always falsely accused Butters of something he never really did.
Who's
You know what? That's it, Allie. You are grounded.
I'm a bad bear. Go to your room, bad bear.
And yet this guy, going into the Paris Hilton episode, I don't want to say it out loud, but he literally was willing to sell his son for $250 million.
And when the sale didn't go through, he grounds him for it.
Like, do you really care about your own son?
The answer is no. No, he doesn't.
It's like some of these dads on South Park, it's why be a dad when you're ready to ground your own kids or just neglect or abuse them.
I do find it kind of funny that the one episode where he doesn't ground Butters is the episode where he pays Cartman to smear his entire house with poop.
Oh my gosh.
What a terrible person.
Yep. I mean, there are other dads in South Park that are terrible. Gerald was an internet troll for a whole season. Kenny's dad, well, poor and drunk.
Yeah, but I'll say this about Steven. He has one redeeming moment.
What?
He grounded Putin.
But you know what? Out of those dads, I think the best out of them, and I use that term very lightly, is Kenny's dad. He doesn't really do anything terrible.
Well, except drink and not supporting his family and
Okay, fair. No, like, doesn't he have a job, but he's like, it doesn't pay that well, or
I always got the sense that he doesn't care about looking for a job or something like that.
yeah. Well, I would say Scotch is the worst. Then I would say Randy's number 2. What do you think? Because I don't think Randy's necessarily just a bad dad. I think he's just an idiot. Like, to me, there is a difference between being evil and just being an idiot. Can anyone agree with me on that, or am I?
Yeah, but I kind of get the sense that Randy's a bit on the sociopathic level, like he doesn't have real empathy for what his family's going through. He's only caring about himself. He has no regard for what anyone else wants. It's all about him.
Or have you ever seen that episode? What is it? The Columbus Day episode
Oh yeah.
where he wants to ban Columbus,
Mm-hmm.
where he wants to ban Columbus Day, and have the kids go to school on Columbus Day.
Mm.
and he and if and you know if and he's like, oh, but what about all the atrocities that Columbus did? He didn't really care about all that, but because then it's found out. Remember, there's pictures of him dressed like Christopher Columbus.
Yep.
And we were all stoked on Columbus back then.
Yeah.
Justin, weren't you so stoked on Columbus back then? And I'm the only one here.
I forget that he was, no?
Uh, in the South Park episode, yeah.
Oh, all right. I mean, I wasn't sure. So Justin had to take a dip for a sec. It's just you and me, bud.
Okay, so
Ali went first. Justin was saying you went third.
yeah,
correct?
I'm next. So
All right. I think Justin's good for now. So yeah, when do we go to your pick?
okay, well, I'm gonna. Okay, who should we go with? That's a good question.
Do you want me to go next? And then
You
you
know
go after
what?
that?
Can you go so I can think for a minute?
Yes, of course I can, Bill. And I cannot wait to have Justin and Ali back on in a second. Just bear with us, everyone. Ali and Justin just took a brief minute. They had to run out really quick. But they'll be back after these messages. Just kidding. Janet, Marty, who are you people?
Patrick, I'm scared. Marty, I'm scared.
Oh my God. That episode of SpongeBob. It was the first thing that popped in my head. I had to bring this up. Janet, Marty, who are you people? It's so funny. Like this episode of SpongeBob is just so key because it has like the funniest, like it's just the funniest moments of like how Patrick, for those of you that have not seen the episode, get on it. It's really, really funny. But Marty and Janet are it's the I'm with stupid episode, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, one of my favorites.
Oh, it's so good. So good. And Patrick's just like, Mom, Dad. And it turns out it's not his actual parents. It's so genius.
Wow, son, you actually recognize us this time.
And you even got dressed today. Oh, wait. That's right. We don't have a son.
That's right. We don't have kids, Janet. Janet, Marty, who are you people?
But I don't know if I would consider them bad parents because they only make one appearance.
I know, but in the one appearance, it was pretty significant. You got to admit. This is the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, damn, SpongeBob and his Patrick's parents. It's one of the first things that popped in my mind. So I thought it was hysterical.
Yeah. So you got anything else to say about them or
I just love the episode so much. It's just like SpongeBob's like sorry,
my favorite Patrick quote though. Are you ready? Some people are just blissfully unaware of how dumb they really are.
That could be interpreted in so many ways in life in general. Come on. So true.
But yeah. Okay, ready to go back to
Yes, go ahead, your pick. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I know Justin has this on his list.
Uh-oh.
I know Allie probably has this on her list.
You guys are gonna swipe right to You're all gonna swipe right
This
together.
is gonna be a communal thing. Are you ready?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Peter Griffin
Yep.
from
Yeah.
Family Guy.
Peter Griffin.
The worst animated dad ever. All right, who wants to start on how bad he is?
Three
He
words.
pretty much
Meg.
neglects Meg.
Okay, yes, of course, but I think the whole family hates Meg.
He hates her more.
and 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 he and just the way he treats his kids, it's just disgusting.
You guys remember the meteor episode where they think that a meteor is going to hit Earth, and he's like, I never liked any of you. And then the meteor doesn't hit, and he has to live with the fact that he admitted that to everyone.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Or you know when or when he go or just a small mention of something when that episode when Stewie gets hurt and he's got like that
Oh, yeah.
and Meg goes, I tried to get Chris to stop to stop him, but he didn't listen. He goes, well done, Chris. I taught you well. So I did that. I've always did that to you, especially on Sundays when the Patriots lost. Chris, this is a list of hats. I need it back by 4 p.m. Like, your infant son just got severely injured. Maybe you should take him to, I don't know,
The hospital.
a hospital, maybe. But you know what? Like, there is a thing, and I'm sorry, I'm taking this moment to do a comparison. Peter Griffin versus guess who?
Homer Simpson.
Okay.
Might as well do it.
We can admit Homer Simpson's not the best dad.
No, he strangles his own kid.
Why you little? But who do you guys think is worse, Peter Griffin or Homer Simpson?
Probably say Peter.
Justin?
I would say Peter because Homer's really only horrible to Bart.
I think they kind of toned it down a little bit, so. But like, here's the thing. At least Homer, aside from Bart, he's just stupid. And at least he tries to be a decent person. No. At least Homer tries to be a decent person. While Peter is just like, when Homer gets into trouble, it's more of his own stupidity and not really any.
Yeah.
I don't know. Help me out here. Not really any malice or.
No, he doesn't hate his family.
Well, maybe Bart.
But gets annoyed with Bart.
But like, Peter actually, he's not just stupid for the sake of being. Okay, like, this is how I would describe Homer Simpson. You know, that guy, he's not the sharpest tack in the box, but hey, he's still a decent guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would describe Homer, or like basically early SpongeBob Patrick Star.
I work with a lot of those people, just letting you guys know.
Like,
But go on.
like again, like, they're not the sharpest tack in the box, but they're still decent people. Peter is like
later SpongeBob.
He's an idiot. He knows he's an idiot.
And he doesn't care that he's an idiot.
And his actions actually harm people. Allie, Justin, help me out here. I feel like I'm stammering.
No. I mean, all of his cutaway gags pretty much have caused a lot of property damage, theft, abuse, child endangerment. I mean, he should have been in jail for life for everything he's done.
To be honest, I know these are fictional characters, but I'm surprised CPS hasn't been called.
It'd be fun to go through all of Family Guy to see just how much damage he's caused to people, how many people he's killed, how many. Just like come up with a final number and see A, how much does he owe in property damage? B, how much time should he be serving? And C, how many times he should have died from all the stupid shit he's done.
Watch Mojo did 2 lists. One was top 10 reasons Peter Griffin should be in jail. And the other one was the top 10 reasons that Peter and Lois Griffin should have gotten divorced.
Oh.
What do you think, Justin, Allie?
Yeah.
Paige and Justin, hello.
No, I'm thinking I'm trying to remember something that happened between Peter and Chris because I was gonna say of all the kids, I think he treats Chris the best.
But that's really not saying much.
No. I think there was an episode where Peter was trying to get Chris's inheritance or something like that.
Oh, that episode.
Yeah.
Which is one of the worst episodes of Family Guy, by the way. That is one of the worst episodes of Family Guy.
Hmm.
And he is basically trying to get the inheritance. And that episode is just, you know what I think the worst episode of Peter Griffin is though? Seashore, the episode when they're all trapped in the storm.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
And the episode when they're all trapped in the storm and Peter's just, you know, and Peter's just saying all these things about Meg but here's the thing, like when I was bringing up the Peter Griffin versus Homer Simpson, like when Homer screws up, you actually do feel bad for him in a way.
Yeah.
Well, Peter Griffin, when he screws up, you know what? He deserved that. Or that episode, or he's not just a bad dad. He's not just a bad husband. He's just a bad person. Like, remember the episode when he shot Quagmire?
Yes. Yes.
This is a gun with a safety on. This is a gun with a safety off. And you know what? And I know we're talking more about the father aspect here, but why does Joe Quagmire Cleveland still stay friends with him?
To be
No
fair,
idea.
they're also horrible people as well.
Well, I think Cleveland is the least horrible of them.
Don't forget about Brian in this.
Oh, I was actually thinking about him too, actually.
Mainly the reason for him being a bad father is the abandonment of his son for 13 years.
Yeah, but the thing is, that doesn't make sense. If he's only been physically on this earth for 8 years and his son's 13, that makes no sense.
Maybe it's 13 dog years.
And there is literally an episode called Brian's a Bad Father.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what he is?
A bad father.
Now I hear that's one of the worst episodes of Family Guy too.
Yeah, but if you watch actually the deleted scenes of that episode, it makes Brian at least. If you watch that whole episode, yeah, the episode does make Brian like he only wants to team up with. He only wants to be with his son again
For the money.
because so he could get a job on the TV show he's on. But if you watch the deleted scenes of that episode, he does look like he's at least trying to make an attempt to be a better dad. Mm-hmm. And of course, there's that episode when I don't know if you saw it when Brian is dating some woman who actually has a young son. And he goes, "Oh, I have a son." Going, "Oh, how old is he?" He goes, "What year did Ratatouille come out?"
Oh my.
Basically, he didn't even know how old his own son was. But you know what? This really brings up an interesting question, folks. Who's the worst dad? Is it Peter or Brian?
Peter.
Justin?
Only because really, you barely see Brian with his own son. You see Peter more interacting negatively to his own children.
I mean, it's what's worse, the father wasn't there or the father who you wish wasn't there.
You know, that's a very interesting question. What do you guys overall think is worse?
The father you wish was never there. You'd rather not have a father than have a father.
Yeah.
Well, like, here's the thing. You know, sometimes if the, and listen, I know fathers are important in society, but at the end of the day, if the father's that much of an asshole, and I say this all the time, folks, I don't care if they're family or not. If toxic people are in your life, I don't care if they're your family. Then it's best to just cut ties.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I said this last week, that whole arbitrary, but family. Don't fall for it. It's guilt trip. Just, yeah, but again, like I was saying, I don't understand. I guarantee you when they're older, Meg, Chris, and Stewie, I guarantee you if this was real life, they'd all cut ties with him. Lois would divorce him. And again, like I said, I don't understand why Quagmire, Cleveland, and Joe are still friends with him. No, because if I had someone like that in my friend group, I'd say, bye. I don't want to talk to you ever again.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I got to say about Peter. All right. Who's next?
That would be me.
Okay.
So my next pick is from Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2.
Oh no, it's him.
It's him.
Pretty much having your own kid just to use him as a weapon.
See, I was debating whether to go with Thanos or Ego.
We could talk about Thanos too.
Well, first I'm going to talk about Ego because what he does is heinous. So first, it's not there for Peter at all during his development. Then when his mother dies, he hires Yondu to deliver Peter to him for reasons we don't know yet. Yondu does not give him over to Ego for reasons we don't know yet. He becomes a space pirate, forms Guardians of the Galaxy, and one day, while escaping the sovereign race because Rocket was being Rocket, they get saved by Ego, who reveals himself to be Peter's dad, and he's claiming he's trying to reconnect with his son. But we find out later that he has been producing children with tons of different aliens, and whenever they disappoint him, kills them and buries it beneath the planet, which he is the planet. He is a living planet. And yeah, as Ali said, he was going to use Peter as a human battery. And probably the worst thing that he did, even though he was going to kill trillions and trillions of people and beings and what have you across the universe, he gave Peter's mom brain cancer.
And he's the reason why I can never listen to Brandy or Fine Girl anymore.
See, I never had that reaction, but he's just a despicable man who is essentially a cancer to the universe. He wanted to spread throughout the universe until everything is him. Does that sound familiar to you guys?
A little bit.
Please elaborate.
Was literally cancer. What does cancer do?
Kills you.
It spreads. He was a tumor to the universe that was going to spread and spread and spread until everything is him. And if you watch season 2 of What If, you find out that should Yondu have actually given Peter to Ego, his attempt to spread across the cosmos would have happened much, much earlier than it actually did.
Oh.
Like 1986 early.
Wow.
So yeah, this guy is cancer. He he's an example of, what's worse, of dad who wasn't there or dad you wish wasn't there. This man is both. Because he fakes being a good dad to Peter to gain his trust. So he can start spreading across the universe with Peter as a battery. And yeah, fuck this guy for giving Peter's mom brain cancer and killing her.
I can agree. This sounds. Yeah, I've seen it. He's a.
One of the best villains in the Guardians movies. I'll say that, though.
I'll give you that. Played brilliantly by Kurt Russell.
Yep. Because let's face it, Ronan the Accuser, kind of bland. The Sovereign, well, that's probably Bill's favorite villain.
Why do you say that?
Because I know you don't like the Sovereign.
I barely remember him.
Them. The Sovereign's a species. The gold people.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You had Taserface, who, while funny, kind of ineffectual.
Taserface!
And then you had the High Evolutionary, who, yeah, another despicable villain, but he lacked the charisma that Kurt Russell had. So it almost made the High Evolutionary seem even more monstrous.
I could see that.
All righty. Anything else, Justin? No.
Um,
On the was it he played Ego, right?
yeah, on Ego.
Gotcha.
Uh, I mean, I could just say this. Honorable mention to Thanos, who was a horrible father to Nebula. Um, to the very end, and only his warped mind could think that he actually loved Gamora. And I yelled.
Okay. Anyone else?
We're
I got
good.
nothing else. I think I got nothing else. You guys are good?
Allie?
I think we're good.
I actually got one more, but it's from a film.
Really quick, what do you got?
Michael Corleone from The Godfather.
Okay.
Because you got to think of it this way. Michael Corleone, one, he doesn't spend a
That's
lot of time
Vito.
with his own family. Well,
Still Vito.
that's still Vito. Al Pacino's character, right here.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Because you got to think about it this way. Michael is not a good dad. Well, in Godfather 1, he seems like he's decent, but Michael as a character at the end of, when Godfather 1 starts, he's the goody goody. He just got back from the war. But then, as I say, at the end of Godfather 1, transformation complete.
Yeah.
He is, after he took care of family business, Michael is now basically the epitome of evil. And when you watch Godfather 2, you could see he doesn't spend much time with his family. He just doesn't. He's, actually having people murdered, but we could put that on the side. But you know what? And I think this is the most riveting dramatic scene ever in Godfather 2. Spoiler for all four of you who haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. We have to do movie commentary on it.
Yeah. Okay. Spoiler for all five of you who haven't seen it. Throughout the movie, Michael's wife, Kay, is pregnant with their third child. And after Michael gets back from Cuba, he's told that Kay had a miscarriage. And there is a scene when Michael and Kay are in an argument, and he goes, "Listen, we'll try again. We'll have another baby, and everything will be okay." But then they finds out that it wasn't a miscarriage. It was an abortion. And Kay said, "I could," and as soon as they find out they were having a son, goes, "I couldn't live with the fact that he was going to end up being like you."
Slap.
You remember that scene.
Yep.
And then they start screaming at each other. And at the end of the movie, Kay takes Michael's kids and he's alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Godfather 3, yeah, sorry, Justin, we got to talk about Godfather 3. Michael is at least trying to redeem himself. Keyword, trying. him and Kay are now divorced. Kay's remarried. To be fair, he looks like he still has a good relationship with his daughter, but doesn't have a good relationship with his son because his son breaks the news to him that he's dropping out of law school to be an opera singer. Michael's not happy about that. Actually, you know what? I kind of don't blame him because you're spending all that money to be a lawyer and you drop it. I can understand that. But anyway, um, but then, well, Michael in Godfather 3, he has somewhat of a redemption arc as he's trying to redeem himself for his past sins, but then if you've seen Godfather 3, you know what happened. The opera house scene, someone who's meant to take a bullet for Mike, who was supposed to kill Michael. His daughter ends up taking the bullet and she dies. And there's a scene he's like trying to scream the pain, but he can't because he's in so much grief. And the end of the film, it really shows you that Michael, the path he's lived, the way he's been to his family, at the end of the day, at the end of the movie, he's sitting in a chair in a Sicilian village and he just falls out of the chair and dies. And listen, in the movie, we don't know at the end, we don't know what his relationship with Kay is like now, because there were still hints that Michael and Kay were still in love, but not really. We don't know if he ever like really reconciled with his son. But at the end of the day, it really shows you how bad of a father Michael is, because at the end of the day, guess how he dies?
Alone.
He dies alone. And you look at it this way, when you look at Vito in Godfather 1, Vito dies playing with his grandson in the garden. It sucks he died, but at least he
By
died.
family.
What was that, Justin?
By family.
At least he died, being with his grandson and died being with his family. Michael dies alone. Like, again, I don't know what the relationship with his son is now. I don't know what the relationship with Kay is. They don't really go into that at the end, but it really shows you that at the end of the day, Michael's a bad father. Justin, you have anything to say, since you're probably the only one here who's seen Godfather 2 aside from me, and JT, you have to see it. Shame.
No, you hit the nail right on the head. Like the whole point of the first Godfather was seeing Michael's fall from grace, and basically becoming the monster. And yeah, it's a very I think part of the reason why they showed Michael being so terrible to his family in the second movie and intercutting it with Vito's origin is to sort of show the dissonance between the two figures,
Oh, like how they show both Michael's story and Vito's story.
Yeah, because it shows just how truly different they are and how their values are different, and how in the end, like the last scene of Godfather 2 is the Corleone family having dinner together when Vito was still alive, and how even though they're criminals, they are a family and they are close like a family. where Michael's story ends in Godfather 2. He's alone.
Because Vito, at the end of the day, like they're criminals, like you said. At the end of the day, they're still a family. But you
Yeah.
know what? I don't know if this is symbolic to some. Maybe you would help me out here, Justin. At the end of Godfather 2, before they show Michael sitting alone, when they show the Corleones having family and they're showing that having dinner together and they got a cake to surprise Don Vito for his birthday. When the rest of the family goes up to greet Vito, Michael's still at the table by himself. I wonder if that's symbolic of something or
I think that's called dramatic irony.
what do you mean it's called dramatic irony?
It means the audience knows what's up, but the characters don't, or what's going to happen.
And would you consider this, Justin? Michael's a bad father. Would you consider Don Vito a good father?
Not just a good father, a godfather.
Okay, but in all seriousness,
I mean, he cares about his children. He tried to keep Michael out of the family business. Like, he knew that Michael was better than that. He wanted a better life for him. Like, that's what every father wants, for the kid to have a better life than he did.
and because if you watch, what is it, the Godfather saga?
Mm,
Have you ever watched the Godfather saga?
no.
But no, because there's like a scene when they're going to see the consigliere before Tom, who is dying.
Mhm.
He's going with the boys, and Don Vito asks him, "So what are you going to do now the war's over?" Now he goes, "I'm going to finish school." And he goes, "Good. I want you to be a doctor or be a lawyer. You're, you're better than this."
Yeah.
Because you know what? I think at the end of the day, and this puts in another thing. Are you ready? Michael, at the end of the day, let his father down.
Yep.
Well, his
But
father's
I
dead, but
I will also make the argument in saying Michael's family let Michael down.
really, how so?
I mean, it was Sonny that convinced Michael to go on his start of darkness.
After the cop slaps him, goes, "You're gonna put the gun, you're gonna put it next to his head, and then boom, get his brains all over your nice new Ivy League suit."
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Michael became the total opposite of what his father was. So, yeah. Okay, anything else? I guess we're
I think we're good, right?
oh, there you are.
I've been here the whole time. I've been paying attention to your beautiful conversation about The Godfather.
Yeah, sorry we monopolized the whole show, but
No, you never do. You know it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Allie, I think, did the Irish goodbye.
Allie had to run. She dipped there early, but
She
that's
did the
okay.
Irish goodbye. She left and didn't tell us.
Yes, she did. That's okay though. She told me everything's good. She's okay. But yeah, I think we're good, right, guys?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yep.
Justin, we good?
We good.
We want to thank you for watching and listening. However, you enjoyed us. Enjoyed us tonight. I have the hiccups, of course. Thanks so much, of course, for tuning in to us as always. Bill, you have a sports
Don't
something.
check out Sports Insanity Podcast. Check us out on all platforms. NBA finals are heating up. Stanley Cup finals are heating up. Pretty soon, it's going to be all baseball. Check us out for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I cannot echo this enough. Echo this enough. They do a fantastic job over there at the Sports Society Network. Bill and Justin, thanks so much for doing this podcast as always. And Allie had to dip, of course, but that's okay. Yeah, but for always at the Super Show, stay safe.
Take
Take
care.
care. And
And
Be
first of all,
awesome.
and
yeah.
also happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Yes, we forgot
And
to do that.
And be glad, people, that these dads we talked about are not your dads.
Word. That's the truth there. Have a great day, everyone.